Hey guys, welcome back to episode 6 of Blonde Moments. I'm Ella, and then we're here with AJ and our guest today, Ashton, and we're going to be discussing his time in the military and the army. AJ, if you want to start off.
First of all, thank you for being here, Ashton. Thank you for accepting to be on our podcast, and thank you for my special co-host. Anyways, first of all, let's get to where were you deployed, Ashton?
So I've never been deployed, but I was on a rotation in Germany for 2 years.
Ooh, Germany. Okay, okay. So first of all, Germany, a great place to be. Europe, um, place of culture, the place of the Wiener Schnitzel. Okay, and okay.
For sure.
One, I got my first question that I think would be we would all like to know is what motivated you to join the army, and how did that decision shape your in from now?
Great question.
So first, I'm going to start off by saying thank you for having me.
Oh,
As far as why I decided to join the army, I decided to join because I really didn't know what I wanted to do out of high school, and all I knew is that my dad served, and I wanted to continue on what my family was doing. Realistically, I just joined to create a foundation for a future family and just to try to figure out what I wanted to do.
very noble.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say, may I ask how old are you now, and how old were you whenever you first joined?
Whenever I joined, I was 17 years old, and now I am 23.
Wow, gotcha.
It
Okay,
was super awesome. Super awesome experience.
yeah. So, what if you could describe like a typical day in basic training? What would you say would be the toughest part of it?
Throughout a typical day,
Yeah.
so for me, my basic training experience was kind of unique. I went to my first cycle, which cycles in basic training, they're typically a large class size. So whenever I first got there, I went to basic training at Fort Sill. But whenever I
Okay.
first got there, we got in processing taken care of. We got to meet drill sergeants for the first time. That was super fun. Do not call them sir, I will say.
Really?
Yes,
You call them sergeant?
we call them drill sergeant and nothing
Oh, you
but
have to
drill
say the
sergeant.
full name? So you'd
Yes.
be like, here's
Otherwise,
your sergeant.
yes, exactly. Nothing but.
Oh, wow.
Hypothetical. What happens if you call them sir?
They will tell you that they work for a living because
Oh,
there's
it's
a fun thing.
title.
Were you
It
ever
is.
by your drill sergeant?
What was that?
Were you ever scolded by the drill sergeant for like a little error or something?
Of
Of course,
course.
everybody is.
Yeah, it
If
happens.
there's anything out of line, anything at all, they will let you know. Like if we had for our hydration, we had camelbacks, so we had a little backpack with water inside of it. So if we had that set up wrong, like so much as like a little carabiner holding the straw that you drink out
Yeah.
of,
Right.
if so much as one of those was on the wrong side, they will let you know. If it's not full, they will get onto you.
Okay, Ashton, I got another question. How did it? How hard was it to build camaraderie within your unit when you were going through basic training?
So technically, in basic, we're assigned to the basic training unit, but I digress. So it's not hard at all because you're either going to bond with those people through embracing the suck, as we call it, right?
Right.
It's not the easiest thing. like basic in general is not the easiest thing ever, but it's definitely not the hardest. As long as everybody gets the memo and everybody understands that they're just trying to get out of there, it'll camaraderie will come with that.
Right.
Right. Even if you hate each other's guts, you're in it
Yeah.
together until the end.
Yeah. And then do you have a phone during basic training? Or like do you still have a phone?
No.
Right.
You
So
don't.
it's just you guys, so I'm sure it's, and isn't it true that like kind of you're all responsible for each other? So like if one person fucks up, they kind of get onto everybody still?
Oh, of
Like,
course.
right. So you guys have to have that solidarity and trust in each other because it's all dependent on all of you, right?
Yes. So let's say somebody didn't do laundry or somebody's bunk is messed up. Everybody will get in trouble for that, especially if you didn't take out the trash in the morning. Because
Gotcha.
we have watch guard shifts. And if somebody's awake when they're not supposed to be, if somebody's inside of the bathroom whenever they're not supposed to be, and not sleeping, then they will get in trouble, especially if a drill sergeant walks in. So if somebody gets caught out of their bed, not just up out of their bed, not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and drill sergeant walks in, everybody is going to get punished for that. It is a team effort. It does not matter who it is. Somebody messes up, everybody pays for it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, of course it's very strict. I just wanted to ask real quick. So you said if somebody's not up, so like if you like can't sleep in the night, like as long as you stay in your bed, like will they get on to you about like being awake at night, even if you're just in your like quarters or whatever? Like is it strict with like you actually like having to be asleep during the night? I mean, I know you should be for your body, but I struggle with sleep, so I was wondering how they are with that.
I'm going to be honest with you. You may struggle with sleep now, but if you were in there, nobody has, nobody struggles with that. Because you're so worn out by the end of the day that your body will get to the point to where it's so tired it will shut down and you go to sleep.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a relatable moment because I'm actually I played on the football team. It was more like boot. They had like this boot camp for the football team, and exactly what you just said made so much sense. Because back then they'd have us dog tired, so there's no way we're staying up.
Exactly, that's how it is. After a long day, especially in the heat, because I went during the summertime in Oklahoma. So throughout the day, we really didn't have. we took all the chances to sleep that we can get.
For me, I was just gonna say for me, I agree. Like I think I would pass out, but I would be worried about like waking up in the middle of the night because like for me the thing with sleep is like a lot of mental things, and honestly I'm just not, I know I'm not built for the military at all, dude. Like I think that would be hard on me mentally, but uh I mean, yeah, I know you guys go through a lot, so I'm sure y'all do pass out. I was just wondering about that. Go ahead, AJ.
All right. Yeah, do you have like any stories about a certain leader or mentor you've had in the army and how they impacted you moving forward?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
So throughout my experience, because I've been in 5 years now. Throughout my experience, like my overall experiences, I've had a few bad leaders, but I've also had those really good leaders that were very loyal. So I too have a problem with sleep normally,
Uh,
and I've gotten in trouble for it in the past.
so that you do get in trouble for it.
Absolutely.
That sucks.
It does. However, it is your responsibility. You are an adult to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of lenient leaders. One of my favorite sergeants, I would have to say, his his name was Sergeant Cagle. That's whenever I was stationed at Fort Hood the first time. When I was there, that was my first good NCO, I would say.
You said Fort Hood?
Yep.
Hold on, that's the one in Texas, right?
Yes.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Farmersville area.
In Texas? But is
Yes.
Fort Hood, isn't that the one that, like, there was kind of a lot of corrupt stuff going on? Or is that the same
Yes.
one that the girl died from?
Both.
Right, that's what I didn't realize you said that at first. Did you, sorry to cut off, but I just now got that. So
Mhm.
did you, like, how did you feel about all that stuff? Or did you see the corruptness yourself? Or, like, were you there whenever Vanessa was killed? Like, what was the time overlap?
So the time overlap was, I believe I was in basic training. I was in basic training whenever all that happened. I heard about it. It's terrible. And honestly, as a leader, that's stuff that I kind of want to prevent.
Right.
But realistically, all the bases are what you make of them. Regardless of other people's experiences, regardless of, like, what's happening there, right? I'm going to have to go there regardless.
Right.
I'm happy to do so. I'm happy to do so because at the end of the day, my family's here in Texas. It's the closest base to my house, and sometimes you need that after 2 years in Germany or 2 years abroad.
Yeah. And I'm sure good people like you being there, like, I'm sure like, even small things like just your impact there make it a better place. And like you said, you guys make it what you can. So I know it's very different. Again, like, sorry to bring up all that stuff, but because I know that's not the people in the base necessarily. So I know that you guys definitely separate from that, and I'm sure like your impact in whatever way possible made that base a better place.
Absolutely. It's an individual effort.
Yeah.
And in your unit, right? If you want to make a difference, do it in the smallest level of things, right? Be consistent. Show that effort and show that care that you have for your soldiers and your peers.
Yeah.
They'll feel it, and it'll affect your work environment. Sincerely.
That's beautiful. I think that's really beautiful that it is, because you're right. It is like the small acts that are consistent in the world in general. Like, people think it has to be grand acts, but little things like, being there for your fellow humans, and especially in the military, I'm sure just, like being there for each other. Like, those are the things that impact people's lives. And, you never know who, like, you never know who you're in the military with and what they'll end up becoming, and your time and you being a good person to them, while you guys are stationed together, might make a great impact on their life. And, I think with the military, like, there's good and bad, but I mean, I definitely know that the people that I have met, they've all been really, so far for me, like, I've met a lot of really great people that I think you guys, most people go into it like with a good heart, and like you said, just wanting to, like, make something for themselves and to have a plan. So I think that's really cool.
Absolutely.
I do have one question for you, Ashton, if you do not mind.
Of course.
During your Germany, what would you say was your favorite but also intriguing custom that you learned over there?
Ooh, once again, excellent question. So, for me, it was probably having to pay for public restrooms.
What?
Yes. So
What?
anytime,
True.
that is true. Anytime you have to pay for, or anytime you have to use the bathroom, whether it's in the train station or in a park, there's
Mhm.
always a restroom around. And it's typically 50 cents or 50 euro cents to
Okay.
2 euros.
So how much would
And
that pass currency? If
so
you
I believe the current conversion rate is $1 to 1.10 euro. So the euro is actually worth more.
I'll use the restroom over there.
So it costs
Okay,
how much again? How many euros?
so it's 0.50 euro cent or 50 euro cent, right?
So like probably like a little bit like 50 cents around there US.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd say about 50 to 60 US cents. That
But
that
still,
threw me off.
yeah.
So what
But
was the locals like when you first arrived?
the locals.
Yeah.
Ooh, good question.
So given the area that I was stationed at, there's a lot of military presence.
Okay, like inward kind of military presence or
It's
It
because
was,
like a lot, like just to say real quick, because I've heard like Germany is kind of known for like having Americans because they're stationed in like the military. So is that what you mean? Like there's just it's pop like it's a well known thing that there's bases there and that people get sent there. So there's still like Americans around and they're kind of used to it.
yes, they're
yeah.
used to having Americans around. It's not
Okay.
anything new, but I will say the further east that you go, the more of a culture shock it is to them that
Yeah.
Americans. I mean, they know that the Americans are in there, but whenever the Americans come and visit in the eastern portions of Germany, it's not so much, and that's due to uh, the Soviet Union and the Warsaw Pact nations. Back
Mm.
when Germany was divided in half, east and west.
So how do you think the army shaped your perspective or of global events and cultural differences, if you don't mind me asking?
Of course, in the army we have a program called EO or Equal Opportunity.
Okay.
So it protects certain things like religion, race, sexual orientation, everything like that. So the way that I view it, like all the cultural differences,
Mm.
lifestyle differences, whatever.
Yeah.
To me, the army's kind of opened my eyes a little bit, right? It's not all about my beliefs. It's not all about everything like that. You have to
Mhm.
look at it like an office setting, honestly. Right? You may not like the
Army.
people that work next to you. You may not completely like the people that work next to you, right? But you have to be tolerant, and that's the thing. No matter what your political beliefs are, no matter what your religious beliefs are, you have to be tolerant. You're able to practice what you believe, right?
Yes.
But for me, it's really opened up my eyes because you never realize how diverse military friend groups are until you look at it from a greater perspective.
Hmm.
Like
Aw.
it's it's so unique, and you don't experience that anywhere else.
Okay.
Aw. That's that's really cool. That's like genuinely beautiful. Like talking to you so far. That's why I kept jumping in. I apologize to AJ and everything. I kept, but it's just really interesting to me, and I just have already enjoyed hearing what you have to say so far. I think like it's showing kind of the beauty of like humanity, I guess.
Absolutely,
Well,
and something
different
else we do.
is I agree with my cohorts, but in a way, I see it. I see that when now that I'm talking to you, an actual member of the military, it's not all black and white because
Yeah, exactly.
you see how the media seems to bestialize military members without even seeing what they actually have done. Because you see a lot of false networks saying stuff about how military are just so intolerant, blah 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 blah. But they forget each country, each state has different views on everything, And like I learned a long time ago going to Mexico as a grown adult that while there's freedom of speech here in the United States, not so much in Mexico because they can actually arrest you for literally anything you say if they choose to.
Really?
Yeah, literally. But like they're not joking when they say the police in Mexico are corrupt. There are a
Right.
lot of experiences where that has been proven. But
Yeah, true.
I do have a question for you, Ashton.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to on duty, how do you stay mentally and physically resilient throughout your
Ooh,
mission?
that's a great question.
How do I stay physically and mentally resilient? Okay, so something that we talk about a lot is resiliency. We get resiliency training on how to balance work and our personal lives. The way that I've personally done it is I go to counseling, I go to therapy. I go to something called the Military Family Life Counselor, or
Oh,
MFLAC. So it's not just for families. And I will advocate for mental health resources all day
And I
because
appreciate you
there's a
explaining that.
stigma. There's a stigma behind mental health,
oh yeah,
Men.
especially whenever it comes to military members.
for sure. And men in general, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Because there's a lot of male sexual assault victims that aren't,
Yeah,
brought up because of embarrassment and whatever.
yeah. And
But I
what
will say,
other people say about that and other guys,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. So, would you say
absolutely,
you're a mental health advocate? Like, is that something that's really important to you?
absolutely. I've lost a lot of people to suicides,
Yeah,
and
Sorry about that.
no worries, no worries.
May they
But
rest in
that's amen, and that's why I like to advocate for mental health too. If one of my soldiers needs to go seek those resources, I'm going to bring them there. Right? I'm
beautiful.
going to escort them.
Yeah,
And as NCOs, that's what we're supposed to do. Is we're supposed to advocate for our soldiers, make sure that they get the time that they need to take care of what they need to take care of.
Would you say that there's any common misconceptions in the army that you'd like to clear up?
Um, can you give
Like
me some examples?
the whole myth that there's what was that myth again? If I remember correctly, that if you were to assault a drug charge, they are within their rights to apparently unalive you.
wait, what? Oh, I haven't heard that.
What was that?
I've heard there was this little incident a couple years back. It was like around the Vietnam War times. That I think they made a movie about it. It was Full Metal Jacket, I believe,
Uh
where
huh.
one of the went crazy. Is that like an actual thing that ever happened in real life? Because some
Are you,
people
ta-
say
are you talking
it
about
didn't.
Private Pile?
No, it's not that one. I think that might be the one.
What's it called? I'll look it up because I'm
Full
a bit
Metal.
confused as well.
Let's just skip through that one question. Let's just get rid of that one since we're all kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So
It's
What
not a
skills?
full story, but it's based on a novel that's an autobiography. So it's not really. I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, it just says it talks about the brutalities of
Mhm.
basic training in the Vietnam War. So I would say no, that's probably not true.
Hmm. It's all autobiography about that. Anyways, what skills and lessons did you find in the army that you feel like you could bring into civilian life?
okay. So I talked about the MFLAC, and I've talked about the camaraderie, and I've talked about how we bond with each other. Something that I do want to bring up, and it's as silly as it is,
Yeah.
I've learned how to organize everything. I've learned how to make a bed. I've learned how to get on a schedule.
Right.
Something
Like the
that
stability.
yes, something that I would like to say is I learned how to use ratchet straps correctly. As hilarious as it is,
What's that?
ratchet straps or tie down straps are what you use to tie stuff down to trailers. I used to be
Oh,
terrible at it. I couldn't figure them out to save the life of me. And my dad used to make fun of me for it because that's all he
yeah.
used to do. And I came back and just I think it was yesterday. We were tying something down to a trailer and he was just scoffing, laughing at me for a second. And then I showed him the trick that he tried teaching me a long time ago, and I learned it through the
Aw,
service. And he's
like
like,
a full circle moment.
yeah, he's like, holy crap. He's like, holy crap, you were able to do that? I was like, yep, I did
Aw.
it.
Aw. I was gonna ask, so with your dad, was your dad in like the army as well, or was he in a different branch?
My dad was in a different branch. He was in the Air Force.
He was in the Air Force, so like, did you, I don't know, like your relationship with him growing up, like were you guys close? Or were there some issues?
So some of the hardest times were whenever he was deployed.
Right. I was
He,
gonna ask if you, sorry, I was just gonna ask,
you,
like, did you come to a different understanding whenever you went through, your time yourself, realizing what your dad went through?
yes, absolutely. I I kind of felt like he left and he just did whatever, and I didn't
Right.
quite understand it growing up. I just
Yeah.
knew he was gone. I didn't know if he was going to come home, but whenever
Right.
I look back on it, it's like, okay, I guess he wasn't anywhere too dangerous,
But you were a
but
kid, so you didn't grasp
it,
it yet.
no, I didn't.
Yeah,
But
understandably.
Ashton, I do have one question though.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say there would be any like kind of rivalry between the other branches? Like I don't know, maybe the Marines between the armies.
Yeah, like, do you believe in that? Like, is that like a serious thing or just a jokey joke thing?
Yeah, or is it like a macho contest?
Yeah, like
It,
what?
it it's not really a serious thing.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
more of
a joke.
a yes. It's a hey, mine's bigger than yours contest, right? That's all it is.
Right.
Especially whenever it comes to football. Whenever it comes to college football, and whenever it
Oh,
comes to any
shoot.
sort of interbranch competitions, because
Oh,
a
y'all
lot of
get
times,
serious?
yes, we do, because we're the representing team for whatever we're doing. If
Oh, is it like for your branch? Like you're on a team for your branch or your station? Is that what it is?
so, we do have sports, but that's more Army versus Army. So it's all within the same organization. So the U.S. Army has specific
So
teams on all the
would it be
garrisons
like
and stuff.
okay, so it would be like different teams, like in different bases, but it's army against army. That you guys would have your own teams.
Yes, each unit has
Okay.
their own team for sports, and then whoever wins, like the top tier, so it goes up in brackets, just like college sports would do. Right, once
Gotcha.
the winner is decided, that's who's going to go and compete. Unless it's college football, right? Those teams are already decided.
So, what was it like growing up in a small town in Texas and from being stationed all the way in Germany to Germany?
Oh yeah, good question. Like the difference.
Yep.
So after I graduated high school, because I left like 2 days after I graduated. After graduating high school,
Wow.
I went to Fort Hood first.
So
I
you're
went to
still in
Fort.
Texas.
Yes.
I was
And you went
gonna
And
there
ask.
across the
Oh,
world?
hmm?
Sorry,
Sorry.
sorry, but weren't you? Did you have like a little bit of fear at all when nearly halfway across the world?
Okay, yes. So
Just
I
went.
did because I was in. I had a girlfriend at the time, back in Texas, and then around May time frame, I came back and I proposed to her. She said yes.
Very
Congratulations,
military of you.
Mazel
Yes, we
tov.
hit. Thank you, but it didn't end up working out.
Oh,
We split just after 2 years, I believe.
I'm sorry, dude. My bad.
Things
It's
happen for a
okay.
reason, though. Yeah. And
Absolutely. I don't know
how far
what.
into your time in the military did you end up going to Germany? Sorry, I was just curious of that. Like, like how long had you been in the military? Like, how old were you whenever you went to Germany, I guess?
I was 21 years old.
So you were already like 3 years into the military?
Yes.
4 years? Yeah.
Yep, I did a little bit of time.
I
I
don't know this, but I actually got a question. Well, it's not even a question. It's me basically asking you: is there
Mhm.
anything you'd like to know about us? Since we've
Yeah.
asked you a bunch of questions already.
Yeah, feel free to ask us anything.
Yep.
Okay. Um.
Jerry told me we met in Farmersville Church, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I believe we may have.
And if
It's
I,
been so long.
yeah, I know, right? Makes me feel so old. Like I don't know, remember this? I don't know if you remember this, but they would had this one night at the church where they were mixing up Dairy Queen and having us drink it to see who would puke first. You remember that?
Oh, Lord.
I don't remember that, but one of my
I think it was with Jose. You remember that Mexican kid that was in our church? He'd always,
Jose Lugo.
yeah,
Yeah, I know Lugo.
yeah, dude. We make so much noise, but it was funny at the same time.
Oh gosh, me and Jose go way back. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Hey, bring back memories. But yeah,
My
my fondest memories with him was almost that time we squared up at the church. I can't forget that part. Oh man,
Jose
that was
screwed up with everyone.
yeah, but it was kind of on me that kind of started that fight.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm a
think.
man to admit that I kind of start that fight. Like
Well,
I
at
had,
least you're honest.
yeah, that's one thing I've always tried to be on. I'm not gonna lie. If I was wrong, I was wrong. That's what kind of helped me mature from now. Because back then, I was a little crash out.
I've heard that a lot from a lot of the people that I grew up with, but they really didn't care, and that's what's kind of dangerous
Amen.
because man oh man will that get you into some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I try to
I think,
growing up, I try to stay out of trouble as much as possible.
yeah, I'm not trying to preach, but I think what really got me centered was by getting back to with the Lord. Cause man, I know if it wasn't for God now, I'd probably be in jail.
Oh, God has saved me a lot of times. That's why I got back into my faith, and that's why
Yeah.
I got baptized in
Oh,
February, I
congratulations!
believe.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Um, I was also gonna say, so I'm a very big person on mental health as well. So,
Mhm.
first of all, again, it's really wonderful hearing what you have to say. I think you've answered the questions we've thrown at you like beautifully, and I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm actually really enjoying like the discussion. And yeah, so the mental health thing and because I've always heard about the military, and like I said, that's why I think I would never be built for the military. I personally have always struggled with mental health, um, and I was, so I was gonna ask you about that anyways, but I just want to say it's also really great that, that you were there for your, what do you call, like, the people that you're with? Like, your fellow Army people. Like, what would you call them?
So,
Like, your comrades, or?
no, it's for communists.
Oh, shit, it really? Is that what that
Yes.
means? I did not
Typically,
know that. I did not
You
know
never,
that. Shit.
you never heard the whole joke, the Russian joke? Hello, comrade. Yeah, that's communists right there.
I didn't realize. Oh, shit. Dog,
Once
I
family.
probably said that
Oh,
before, and people thought I was a communist.
oh my
Oh,
god!
shit.
Don't even telling people comrade. Oh my god!
Oh, Lord. Oh, gosh. Well, now I
What?
know. Thank you. Anyways, what is the correct term?
So if it depends, right? If you're typically in basic training, what we call each other is battle buddies. It's supposed to be battle buddies. You're always supposed to be in a battle buddy pair. So because of things that have happened in the past, because rules have been broken, there's new rules in place.
Okay.
So battle buddy pairs of like gender.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I didn't catch that last part.
So the battle buddy pairs are of the same gender.
Right.
Or it can be 2 to 1 of the opposite gender.
Okay.
And in the Army, we have a medical system, or we just have an overall system called DEERS. Whatever because of the presidency previously, there were transgender soldiers allowed to serve in the Army. So whatever reflected on your DEERS is the gender identity
that you'd be paired up with, I guess.
Absolutely. So if that ever became a conflict, that's what that would be. It would be not what you identify as, but what it says in there. Because once you get your treatment and everything, whenever you want to transition over to the next or the opposite gender or whatever you feel comfortable with, that is how it would work, right? You have
that's a good input too, because I didn't think about that.
Yeah, once and it's kind of your body's going to be feeling a lot of chemicals it's not supposed to normally feel. Like say you're a biological male turning to a female, your body's not going to be used to being pumped full of estrogen.
That's correct, because your body's still going to produce it naturally, unless you get blockers.
Yeah, like just like with anything, like even meds or anything, it's anything you change in your body is gonna, That's the point, though. I think they want it to, change. Like I think that's the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I was just.
It was kind of a little messed up about it, but it was basically say you grow old with dementia and you forget that you had the surgery.
Yeah. What? There's a hypothetical that I cannot answer because I don't know.
I don't. Yeah. If I'm able to just ask a few things real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so now I'm not really sure of like the stats or anything. Are there like, what is the ratio to like women in the Army versus men? Like, is it still like mainly men, or like is there a good amount of women in the Army now?
Dang, that's a good question.
I would honestly say that there's a large amount of women inside the Army now. So women were recently allowed to serve in combat arms MOSs, and the PT test, I believe,
because we the physical test.
Yes.
Okay.
So our new PT test, I believe, is, or they've really always been gender exclusive, right?
Yeah, like equal.
Or inclusive, yes. Exclusive is separating. So
I didn't even touch it. You're good.
So there are two structures. There's the men's structure and the men's standard, and then there's the women's standard. It used to be based off of your jobs, but the PT test has changed 3 times since I've joined, and now I believe they removed an event, and it's still undergoing changes, but there's different standards.
Okay,
So
man.
it just
Question.
depends.
Yeah, and also I was gonna say, like, what is the? I know you said like the little things, you know, like just having a like a schedule and being able to do like little tasks, because I know the military, like, it does definitely help you kind of grow up in a way, and it definitely gives you like that strictness to learn a lot and to be very like, you know, it drills a lot of things into you. But I'd say spiritually wise and like just like humanity wise, what are like some of the biggest takeaways from your experience in the military, like humanity wise, or things that you've realized like about just humanity and your fellow humans, or experiences that meant a lot to you and changed how you view things, or things like that? Like, what was your takeaway of around things like that, and your experiences with like the other people and mentally and socially that like changed you?
Yeah, I kind of had the same. So, sorry for interrupting, but I had a similar question to what she just asked. Basically, it's saying, can you describe a time where you faced a moral or ethical dilemma while in the army?
I will come back to that one. I will probably ask you to re-ask that question, so then I
Go
can
for it.
answer the first one, because that was a lot at one time. So let me see.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. So to answer your question about the cultural, so mental, and what was it that you asked?
Sorry. So I'm a big person on kind of like finding, you know, like reasons for life, and a big one for me is like seeing differences in humanity, and like the things about just being a human that everybody can kind of relate to. So I was asking, like, I know you talked about that you got out of the army like a good schedule, and you know, being able to do tasks, specific tasks really well, but like as far as like mentally, socially, and like the things that you learned through humanity and like with other people, what were like the like how did it change your outlook on life and your beliefs and views that way? Like, how did your experience in the army change your outlook on life, or how you viewed things, and based on, you know, your how you see other humans and your interactions with them, if that makes sense? Sorry.
No, of course. So ultimately, like I said, there's drastic differences in, I'd say, civilian friend groups versus military friend groups, because everybody's displaced from where they're originally from. You have such diversity that you get to try things that you never thought would even be possible. For
Yeah.
instance, right? I got to eat at my Filipino friend's house, and we were making lumpia, which is
Oh, I've heard
rolled up.
about that.
Yes, lumpia is so good. And we were eating fish with our hands, and I didn't see any issue with it. It was wonderful.
Right. That
And
sounds fire, honestly.
it was so good. And my Puerto Rican friends, and so around Christmas time, they have an alcoholic drink called coquito. Coquito is like an alcoholic eggnog that you put
Interesting.
that you put rum in. It is
Ooh.
very
Oh,
good.
anyways, okay. Continue with your story.
So there's been a few other experiences too. Uh, I met some friends from Louisiana, and
I
I've never
love
had.
Louisiana and the cultures and the accents and the
Yes,
people. I love it.
yes. Something that I never had was the Heinz 57 sauce, and
What?
I
Really?
didn't I didn't until I went to Louisiana.
Even living in Texas?
So, while I'm from Texas originally, I didn't grow up in
Oh,
Texas all my life
you
because my
did
dad
or
was
you didn't?
military. Did not.
Oh, I see. I was gonna ask just a little thing. It's not a big question. Whenever you said not being able to call the drill sergeant sir, I was gonna ask, or I was gonna say, I'm sure that's really hard for a lot of Texans who are like used to saying sir and ma'am all the time. I'm sure that's like really hard for like the southern people to not say sir or ma'am.
I mean, after you get yelled at a couple of times, it gets pretty easy.
Oh
It
yeah,
just it just it just flips the switch. It's like, oh, okay.
right.
It's like,
Sorry, but
okay, I'm
I
gonna
didn't
go
mean to
along and play
interrupt.
their game. No, you're good. No
All
worries.
right.
But it was just
Anyways,
like the different cultures, I guess, and their foods and the people that you got experience to.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Like there's been
Beautiful.
so many doors that have opened up that I never thought were possible.
And that you wouldn't have got if you weren't in the military.
Absolutely. Like it's not something you experience every day.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
anyways, Ashton,
Mhm.
if you just say one piece of gear or equipment you'd say you heavily relied on while on deployment, what would you say that would be, and why was it so important?
So, like I said, I haven't been in a combat deployment, but
Yeah.
I would say one of the most useful things that I wouldn't go anywhere without is a water source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have, you can live off of water alone
Yeah, but
for
whatever
longer than you can with food.
piece of gear and equipment, I wasn't necessarily talking about battlefield because, granted, there's a lot of people who do different jobs in the military. There are mechanics, there are cooks, there are cleaners, there are people who are actually on the battlefield. So when I usually say gear or equipment, I'm talking about like something like to keep you focused. Like say most people, I've met a couple friends who are in the military. They have like little fidget spinners. Like say
Oh,
they,
okay, yeah,
yeah, like to give something your brain.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, okay.
like a little personal item, even.
yeah, something to keep them like from like losing their mind per se.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Did you have like a specific personal item or anything that you would like keep in your time in the military that like yeah kept you kind of grounded?
Okay, yes, actually. So, and it was actually from before uh, I was in the military. So whenever I was going to church back in Abilene, back whenever we lived out there, and
Oh yeah, I've been around there a little bit.
this was around 2011 to 2014. So
Oh wow.
whenever I was living out there, we were going to church. We were going to a Baptist church called Ridgemont Baptist. There was a man there. His name was Mr. Ronnie. Mr. Ronnie gave me a pocket cross,
Okay.
and
Oh.
I keep that pocket cross on me at all times. I make sure that I carry it everywhere. It doesn't matter if I'm in uniform or I'm wearing, regular civilian clothes. It doesn't matter. I always keep that pocket cross on me or my
Oh.
Bible.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Like I think that's a really good question to know and to ask because I love hearing about people like things that are really important to people like that that they keep with them, especially in like military service. That's it's just sorry to keep saying that's beautiful, but really I think a lot of your responses and your experiences just I think they are beautiful, and I think it definitely I think your experience it seems to have brought a like just a warming feeling, and like I feel like you have a better understanding kind of like humanity and you know fellow humans and things like that. Just sounds like you have a really good understanding of that, and like you now have like that purpose in life kind of understood more. That's at least what I'm getting. That's what it sounds like hearing you talk, you know? You just sound wise for sure.
I
I've been
think
told,
disciplined. There's obviously wisdom within there, but what I hear mostly is professionalism and discipline from what I've heard, which is a great thing because it shows that our military forces are still holding discipline above all. So that's a
On
good
the
thing.
contrary, I would actually like to say I've noticed more of the humanity and the heart. Like I feel that you have that heart still in you, and you. I've heard you seem that you have a lot of care for the world, and like you were saying, you were a mental health advocate. So I mean, it's just different perspectives, but it sounds to me like I guess I used to think that people in the military, that maybe they were a bit more cold or shut off. But talking to you, it's quite the opposite. It sounds like it's let you have an understanding of the world and life, and have that human like the humanity, and your interactions with different people and different cultures. It sounds like it had an impact on you in a really beautiful way, and I can hear the heart whenever you talk about all of this.
yeah, honestly, it's it's a mix of both.
Right.
While we do have rules and regulations, and I like to uphold those with all that's in me, like to make sure that everything is being followed.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, it has given me a better experience, and I appreciate the compliments on wisdom. However, you don't get that without asking questions. You
Yeah.
don't you ask those questions. Talk to everyone that you can,
I mean, we're
because
kind of
with
doing that right now, basically.
Yep.
exactly, if you don't have people to talk to, if you don't have an outlet for your ideas or what you want to talk about, if you don't have an outlet for all of that creativity and everything like that, you're just going to fizzle out, and then you're going to become that cold, you
Right.
know, and
Machine like
that
entity.
It just depends how you take it and how you go about things, I guess.
absolutely, and it depends on your intent. If you just want to get what you want and push everybody's feelings, everything aside.
And I think it's the different people that join the military. There's some people like that, where they're going at it for more of a like a to just get away from people, and and learn about guns, and it's kind of more that approach. And then I think there's people like you who found a lot in the military. It seems like the military can either make you or break you, and it seems like you took it seems like you took the chance, and that it's made you, and shown you a lot that you keep with you in your head. Like it sounds like your experience in the military made you who you are.
Absolutely, and it's not been an easy road whatsoever. it,
For
it definitely
sure.
has not. I mean, in Germany, I went through some of the worst things that I've ever been through, and
Would
it
you
was
mind
all
talking about that a little bit more, like your mental struggles being so far away and in the military, if that's okay with you?
absolutely. So some of the things that I've experienced was, a failed engagement. Um, I lost, I lost a child due to a
Oh.
miscarriage as well, and that
Oh
was
my
Oh,
gosh, my sister went
that was
through
what.
that. I know it's really hard.
Yeah,
Rest in
it's not,
peace.
and I really didn't know what to think of it. First
Yeah.
time, and it's like okay, but something that something that I got out of that was it just wasn't my time, because you know what,
Yeah. Same thing with
it
that
put
relationship.
absolutely, it just wasn't time for it yet. And
That's how I view things too, actually.
I like to be optimistic. I don't like to be pessimistic. If I'm pessimistic,
Same.
then something's gone completely wrong. With that experience, I realized how much being a dad has meant to me. So, I don't want to take anything for granted. It's not worth messing around with that until, I'm in a happy, committed relationship. Because a baby is not a band-aid for a relationship. It's really not.
Exactly.
I want to be financially stable before I even attempt to go through that again.
That's actually exactly how I feel because to be honest, like I said, I struggle with mental health and I also struggled with addiction because of my mental health. I tried to escape and I'm now focusing back on my recovery. But that's another thing. I've always wanted to be a mom, so I really understand you with that. I've always wanted to be a mom, but I've come to the realization, as much as I see the cute videos of babies and stuff, is like I want to be in a spot where I'm mentally okay and I'm mentally strong enough to where I know that I can give my child the best upbringing because I don't want to carry on generational trauma, like I need to break that before I have a kid. And again, same thing, like, especially with how like finances are and like economy these days, again, like, being financially stable and realizing that, you can't rush into that. I mean, if it happens, then sometimes that is just life. And sometimes it is meant to be and you don't even know it yet. But again, also sometimes doesn't work out and a lot of women do end up miscarrying, so I do want to say I know that that's a really hard thing and I feel like sometimes people overlook the fathers who deal with that loss. So I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry that you had to experience that as well. Again, I just do feel like fathers kind of get overlooked whenever it's a miscarry sometimes because, of course, it's really hard on the women, but people tend to forget that it's also a father losing their child as well. But I really relate to you with everything you were saying about wanting to realizing how important being a parent is and realizing that you want it to be in a good spot and with the right person. I'm very big on that as well. Like, and I don't, even whenever I'm talking to somebody, if I feel like, if I look at them and I feel like they would be a shitty parent, even if I'm not going to have a kid with them, I don't want to talk to them or have a relationship, because that just doesn't align. So I just really relate to you on that.
But
No, absolutely.
I'd like to thank you for your time because unfortunately we're out of time.
Sorry,
But
guys.
thank
No
you for
worries, no worries.
everything for real, man. Like your contribution to the United States, to your professionalism. It's really great, man. And
And I'd like to
hopefully have
thank you
you
for
back
your
here.
heart.
Sorry,
Of course.
Sorry.
like I said, hopefully we can have you again someday. And yeah, we'll have like a better setup. Like honestly, it's just been a great episode, and I'm glad we did this tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed talking to you. Sorry that I, rambled at some point, guys, but I truly just really enjoyed hearing everything you had to say. And I think it moved me on a personal level. And as he thanked you for a lot of things that are really important, but personally, I would like to thank you, Carrie, to your contribution to the world through wisdom and humanity and your heart and your positive outlook and again the mental health advocate. I think all of those, I noticed that about you and I think that's a really beautiful thing. Thank you so much for your time on here. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you
this
guys
is
for
it.
having me so much.
Blonde moments with my co-host and my guest. Thank you and good night.
Good night.